First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash. Yahweh is the name of who this world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is the name of who this world ignorantly calls Jesus. Bahashem means in the name, Rakah means spirit, and Quadash means holy. And that's all in the Paleo-Hebrew. I also want to give double honors to the outer bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Today's lesson, I wanted to go over this video of the brother Amoan Gabar posted, titled, "What's happening is definitely an indicator of the end of Esau," right? Prophecies are coming to pass, right? And that's just straight facts, okay? With one of those main prophecies being that the Edomites, so-called white people, are being exposed for their true nature and their true identity, right? Their true behaviors, right? Which is just straight wickedness. The wicked of the earth. Okay, and every single day that is coming to pass, more and more and information is coming out about their nature and about how they rule, right? Because you got to remember that Esau, right, his blessing was the sword and the fatness of the earth. The sword and the fatness of the earth. And ever since inception, right, that's what he's been doing, right? Living by the sword, killing, destroying, raping, robbing, murdering, and he hasn't changed. Here it is, 2023, he hasn't changed, okay? In this video, right, this guy goes over it, okay? And I'm going to let the video speak, and I'll add on to it after it plays. Let's get it.
Who is rallying behind Israel is going to lose. I mean, obviously they're going to lose, because rallying behind Israel just shows that you are still stuck in this old colonialist, imperialist, racist, Western supremacist mentality that the entire global South rejects. And frankly, not just the global South. I mean, there are huge numbers of people in the West itself who reject this. The majority of people on earth reject this. So you see, you're showing the whole global South, you're showing the whole world that you can't change, that you're the same as you ever were. I think the West, and America in particular, needs to understand that the whole world is seeing you for what you are. Your stance on Palestine makes it starkly obvious to everyone that you are not actually mature or developed enough to deserve a leadership role in world affairs, and certainly not in the affairs of the global South. Certainly not in all of the countries that have been your victims all these years. I mean, there's no repentance on your part. There's no contrition. There's no moral improvement or change in you. You are exactly the same people who wiped out the Native Americans. You're the same people who regarded Africans as subhumans. You're the same people who murdered hundreds of thousands of Japanese civilians in a matter of seconds at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You're the same people who dropped napalm on civilian villages in Vietnam. I mean, on and on. Nothing changes. And nothing exposes this today more than your stance on Palestine. Nothing demonstrates that you have not changed or developed in centuries more than your shameless support for Israel. And believe me, you're alienating the whole planet by this. When you back colonialist, Zionist violence against the Palestinians, everyone sees it as emblematic of your whole attitude to the non-Western world, to the non-white world. Everyone in the global South identifies with the Palestinians. Everyone in the Muslim world identifies with the Palestinians. When you declare your support for total war against the Palestinians, when you declare your support for a psychopath like Netanyahu calling for basically a final solution against the Palestinians, well, everyone in the global South gets the message. You are deranged, immoral, barbaric, bloodthirsty, racist savages. And all your talk about human rights and the rule of law and all of that is all just hideous hypocrisy. You don't mean any of it, and you never did.
Right? And exactly how that man said right there, right? People are catching up to the nature of this devil, right? There's a reason he's called the wicked of the earth, because that's exactly what he does, okay? And he was talking about that situation over there was Israel and Palestine, which is showing their claws even more, because here it is, you have Palestine, right? They have no option but to fight, okay? No option but to try to do something, right? Try to throw an uprising, because if they don't, they're still stuck there, right? Being oppressed day in and day out. Okay, it's like if you put a dog in a cage, right? Eventually, hey, that dog is gonna want to get out, right? And that's the same thing with the Palestinians. And here it is, right? They change the media, right? They paint the image of Israel as being the good guy, when in actuality, they're performing more barbaric acts, right? They're destroying more people, right? Recently, what they did is they bombed a hospital, right, of civilians. They bombed a hospital over there in Gaza full of civilians. And now they're over here saying, nope, it wasn't me. Right? Nope, it wasn't me. It was the Palestinians. You guys misfired. Right? You guys misfired your own rocket and you hit your own civilians. Right? Just a whole lot of bullshit. And that, hey, let's get to the scriptures. Right? Because the scriptures don't lie. Job chapter 13 and verse 4 says, but ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Right? Going into the wicked. Right? That's all they do is constantly lie, lie, and lie. Right? They're not ever trying to reach a peaceful solution. No. Because their whole dynamic, their whole blessing is to rule by the sword. Right? That was the blessing of Esau. It was the sword and the fatness of the earth. That's exactly what he's done. Hey, the man put it out. Going into how they killed the northern kingdom here in the Americas. Right? They're the exact same people that killed the people here in the Americas. The so-called Native Americans, the so-called Latinos, and the so-called blacks, which are the Israelites. Okay? Same person. And what we're seeing right now is prophecy. Right? This devil is being exposed day in and day out. And let's get that. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. It says, verse 3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Right? And who is that going into? The Edomites. Right? They are completely contrary to the ways of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And all they want to do is push forth this wickedness in this earth. Right? And that's what they've been doing for however long they've been ruling, since the Renaissance, when they came back from those 1,000 years of slavery. Not slavery, but pretty much oppression. They were at the bottom. Okay? Verse 4, it says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Right? Because that's his whole MO. Right? It's to be God. Right? Bring in the chip so he can control everyone. Right? Perform miracles that are only going to be possible through that technology. Hey, because he's going to be able to make the paraplegic people walk again, make the blind see, and make all these things that are called godlike, right? Miracles that only God can perform. He's going to be able to do that, right? And then over here trying to transform with technology, right? Biomechanics or the metaverse, right? He's trying to live forever, be as God. And ultimately, he's being revealed for his true nature. And these nations are, hey, this Israel and Palestine conflict, beautiful, right? Beautiful. This devil getting exposed, beautiful. Because everything we're seeing right now is prophecy, and we're reading it right here, right? That day can't come without Esau, Edom being exposed. And he's being exposed every single day more and more. That's why it says that even his own allies are going to turn on him. Right? NATO and EU are going to turn on America and destroy this place. Let's get that. In Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, right? The 10 horns goes into EU, right? NATO and EU. It says, these shall hate the whore is America, Babylon the Great, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Right? They're all going to turn and destroy this place by the way of nuclear missiles, because they're going to realize, hold up, the problem is not between us, guys. It's between those, right? It's because of those people, right? Because of their way of thinking. Right? That wine that they have been pushing onto the nations, right? Which goes into that philosophy, which the philosophy of Esau is wickedness, right? Sin. And what does sin bring forth? It brings forth death, right? So these nations, they're realizing that, right? They've known it for a while, but now, hey, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is putting it in their spirit to act up, right? To ultimately play out his movie. It says, verse 17, what I just said. For God hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Right? And that city is nothing but America, which in the Bible it's called Babylon the Great, right? The land of great confusion. But ultimately, all these nations, they're going to turn and destroy this place by the way of fire, right? Because they're pissed off by the way that this system is being ruled, right? Under wickedness, oppression, right? Always wanting to go at war, never want to make peace, right? Here it is. You have Esau, Edom. He could have a world full of peace, and he's still going to find a way to make war, because that's his blessing, is to rule by the sword, to kill and destroy. Okay? This is Jeremiah chapter 51, and I'll start at verse 7. It says, Babylon, which is America, hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. Right? Drunken with what? The philosophy, that wine. Right? The ways of America. All these other nations have drunk of him. It's called Americanization. Right? The Western way. Okay? That's why, hey, these people over there in the East, they know that. They know that if they send their daughter over here to America, she's going to become a whore. She's going to become a prostitute. She's going to get ran through. Right? Because the ways of America are destructive. But let's read it again. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right? They're all pissed off of the way that this society, right, this government rules. Right? Because right now America is still the hegemony, right? I think that's the word. They're still the top of controlling. Right? They have the power because they control the currency. Okay, but these nations, they're all realizing this is not it. Right? These people are a whole bunch of devils, and they're all getting together. Right? The BRICS, okay, all those nations on the east, they're all getting together to do their own thing. Right? And soon this place is gonna crumble. Right? You best believe that, because it's been written. Soon this place is gonna crumble. Right? But everything comes with the steps. Verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroying. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Right, which goes to show, right, even every single thing that these people are going to do when this place starts falling, right, people are going to start coming with the idea of, hey, let's build this place back up. Let's save America, right? As it says, we would have healed her, but she is not healed, right? No matter what you do, you're not going to be able to save this place, because it's been written that it's going to be completely swept, right? Swept with the besom, the broom of destruction, which is that nuclear fire. Okay, the perfect solution is that fire, which completely disintegrates and evaporates all the elements. Clean. Okay, let's keep going. A couple scriptures, just thoughts I put here. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. This is the man, right? Because this is what the nations are going to say after Esau, Edom goes down. Okay, Isaiah chapter 14, verse 16, it says, They that see thee, right, see Esau, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? Right? They're going to look at Esau and be like, are these the people that really were making us go through all this bullshit? Right? Destroying the worlds, making our daughters become whores, making our sons become effeminate homosexuals. Is this the man? Okay? That's what these nations are going to say when this devil goes down. Hey, but what are the prophets doing right now? What are these people recognizing and coming to the conclusion right now? The same exact thing we're reading. This is that man that's doing all this bullshit. And we're seeing it, right? This guy right here, which looks like an Edomite, he's seeing it. The nations are seeing it because of what's happening over there with Palestine and Israel. Okay, that topped it off, man. That was the cherry on top, just showing how they're gonna rule. Okay, another thing I saw on Twitter, I was scrolling, right? I like to check this guy's Twitter channel. It's called the Mario Nafa or something like that. Right, always posting reports about that conflict over there. And he was going into how Russia, right, proposed a peace deal. Okay, Russia proposed a peace deal that this would stop. Okay, they would send humanitarian aid over there to Palestine and Gaza, and that there would be a ceasefire. Okay, and you had all the Eastern nations, every single nation voted, yeah, let's do it. And who was the only one nation that voted, nah, we're not doing that? The only one nation that did that was the United States. The only nation that did that was the United States of America. They said, nah, let's keep this war going. Okay, and then they voted on it again, and America doubled down. They doubled down, man, saying, nah, fuck that peace shit. We want war. Well, we're going to rule by the sword. That's what they said. You can search it up. This is what happened today. And this just goes to show, as that man was saying, these people, hey, they haven't changed. They're still the same barbaric white supremacists that they were 200, 300 years ago, destroying the natives here, which were the northern kingdom, the Israelites. The same people. Like as it says, never trust thine enemy, right? Because as iron rusteth, so does his wickedness. The scriptures don't lie, man. Let's see. Let's get that covering cast. Let's get it, man. It's Isaiah chapter 25 and verse 7. It says, and he, going into Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and he will destroy in this mountain and going into this government. Right? In the scriptures, the mountain and hills represents big governments and small governments, rulerships. It says, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations. Right? That's exactly what's going on. Right? A covering cast is an object that is used to deceive you, right? To blind you, block what you're seeing. And ultimately that covering cast is all the lies that he has pushed forward. Right? All his philosophies, his ways of thinking. Okay, his ways of just everything. Right? That covering cast is wickedness. Right? That's what he's perfect at. He's perfect at wickedness. But that covering cast and that veil, right, is being destroyed. Throughout all nations is being destroyed. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. The prophecies are coming to pass. Why doubt? Why have little faith when the prophecies are right in front of you? What I'm reading was literally written years ago, and we're seeing it today in 2023. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is coming soon, and it's a beautiful time to be alive. Right? We got to rejoice. Now is the time to go even harder, because what we're reading right now is happening. Beautiful. Let's get another one. Let's get Obadiah. Obadiah, which this is strictly dealing with Edom. Right? These people. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 6, it says, how are the hidden things, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mouth of Esau? Right? And that's exactly what we're seeing. As I said, his hidden things are being sought. Right? As it says, anything that is hidden in the darkness, it has to come to light. And all his lies everything that he has done to pretty much come to the top, right? Everything is coming to light. Even going to this conflict that originated in Israel, Palestine, right? Here it is. You have over there, Israel, the CIA, the Mossad, which is the top of the top, the creme de la creme of intelligence services, right? They know everything that's going on. Right? And here it is. They said that, we didn't know we didn't know that Hamas, the Palestinians, were coming to invade us. Right? We have the top of the top information, insiders, but we didn't know they were coming to invade us. Right? We didn't know they were in Israel. Right? Complete lies. Right? You had the Hamas soldiers coming in like they were in Fortnite, man. Coming in paragliders. Right? Coming in paragliders like they're I can't even talk straight, man. That shit was straight out of a movie. Straight out of Hey, that was straight out of a movie. Right? Search it up. Right? Hamas coming in paragliders like they were playing Fortnite. Straight out the bus. Thank the bus driver and everything. But I'm just messing around. But yeah, they literally were saying that they didn't know that was happening. But that's bullshit. They let them infiltrate so they can run their course. Right? They can run their New World Order. Right? Because everything is controlled. And the elites, they fund both sides ultimately. Okay? But let's get Habakkuk chapter 2. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 6, it says, shall not all these, right, and it's talking about Esau again, and it's going into all the nations. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Right? And that thick clay, if you look into the Hebrew, it goes into ibatia, right? Which means debt. Okay? And that's exactly what we see. Right? This economy, this man is laded, right? He's covered himself with thick clay, that thick debt. Right? $33 trillion in debt. It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Right? So because of all the atrocities that they have done, right? As it says, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, and of the city, and of all that dwell therein, for what they have done in this land, they're going to have to pay for it. Right? And all nations, right, are going to spoil Esau, Edom. They're going to destroy this place. And you better believe that. Hey, don't make me get into the scriptures going into World War III, because we'll be here all night. You best believe that. Let's get the last couple scriptures I had. Covering cast nations, man, Revelation, man of sin, Obadiah 1, Habakkuk 2 and 8. And I'll get one more. Tongue fall upon themselves. Right, this is Psalms chapter 64 and verse 7. It says, but God shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And that's exactly what we saw right now with this video. Right, his own people, his own tongue is coming against them. Right, their own tongue is falling upon themselves, because the modern day American, the modern day Babylonian is realizing that this government is not in favor for them. Right, here it is. You have all these people homeless in the streets, and you have the United States of America sending $10 billion to Ukraine and Israel. $10 billion. Right, imagine if they just invested $10 million into the homeless, into their own people, how much they can fix up this society. But hey, that's not what they're occupied in. Right? That's not what they're occupied in at all. Right? They're occupied in war, in blood, in killing, murdering, raping, right? Destroying. Because that's their blessing. They rule with the sword. But I think the point has been established once again. Right? This is an indicator of the end of Esau, the end of his rulership. Right? Because as it says Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That's clear-cut proof that before the kingdom of heaven is established, which that goes into the Israelites ruling, Jacob, Esau has to be in power, which is exactly what we're seeing. These people are the Edomites. The so-called white people are the Edomites of the Bible. And hey, they haven't changed. But hopefully this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. I also want to give double honors to the also elder bishops and apostles of great Millstone that taught me this truth. Shalom to you, Shalom.